Okay, and we're live on Periscope, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Instagram. Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is the Pink Elf in the Room conversation. And hey out there from Drums and Worship, just want to say hey to you as well. And to everybody out there, today what we will be talking about is the experience of simply, hold on just a sec. There we go. What we're going to be talking about is the experience of what you are being and who you truly are, the experience of life. What, first of all, what do I mean by that? What we're going to go over are two halves of what goes on this planet in a sense. The first half being what we do in everyday life, what we are literally doing through everyday life, and the second part is who you truly are, meaning you do the same things over and over in everyday life, but what could advance and evolve you and grow you. I'm going to go over two parts, and we're going to be having 5 parts to each side. So the first part is what you are being. The first thing you are being right now at times is when we talk, for example, about wealth. Many people have different thoughts about wealth. You have, of course, a handful of individuals who will go forth for what they desire, and they'll find people they can work with and grow a part of what you desire. And you're going to have people who don't believe in that, who feel that they can't do that. And remember, that is because simply they are having that struggle within themselves. You have people who are like that, who don't feel that what you are doing may not work, who have a mentality of what we call the broke mentality, where I don't have enough money, or I've heard this several times, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough. I had talked about this before on Soulology about the scarcity mindset, where there is not enough. Many of us at times think about it in that sense, believing that there are either obstacles or that we do not have enough, or just simply there's not enough time. Hold on just a sec. To do any of these things to get to where we say we desire to go. Exactly. So we have Drums and Worship who said that's school me, and I forgot that last line. But we have that mentality believing that we don't have enough on this planet, and not only that, many of us at times are afraid to gain success because we may think to ourselves, and this has happened to me, what if I get on stage and I make a mistake? What if I don't like having what I desire? And then the question may be to ask yourself, why would you not desire those things for yourself? Where you get into a mindset of being so afraid of those things that you don't realize what you are truly capable. Now, the second thing is relationships and conditional love. In relationships, which is very interesting in today's society, many of us have a mindset of on both sides. For example, on one side, you have people who feel if you don't have enough money, you cannot be the one I have children with, you can't be the one I can have a relationship with, or anything. You have people on the other side who say that if you're not dressed this way, if you're not sexy this way, if you don't give good sex this way, you're not worth my time. And we're always looking for conditions to give us a reason to unconditionally love people. Unconditional love with conditions. Hence why it's conditional, really. We don't really care for people for who they are, but look at them in a sense on the outside or for what they have. We look at people as though it's a video game. That if you don't have the right amount of points and experiences, you aren't worth the time for me. Instead of seeing if that person truly fits you and truly cares for you and is there for you. We don't look too closely into that. But that's the second thing that is a part of our everyday life. Number 3, we're always keeping up with the Joneses. What do I mean by that? Or better yet, we're always keeping up with the Kardashians. We are always trying to follow the next trend that someone else is doing. We're always trying to wear the most expensive outfit that someone else is wearing to prove a point to people we might not even possibly like or care for. But we do it anyways. We do this to be accepted, to feel popular, to feel known in any sense that I too am important because of what I wear, how I dress, and things I say. Number 4, memorizing. In today's society, we've been known, no matter if you work a job, to going to educate yourself, going to school, going to college, we live in a world of memorization where everything is pretty much, if all you have to do is exactly this way and you memorize it and do it exactly that way over and over and over again. Or taking a test, you memorize what is needed for the numbers and you pass the test. And for some people that might be what works for them and whatnot, and there's nothing bad with memorizing, but you have to understand that memorizing does, what it does simply is it gives you the mindset of, like many people, if you have big desires or if you have dreams to be somewhere, it might not always be important to memorize something, just to read a book verbatim and think that'll work. Sometimes you have to do more than such to push yourself. When you are memorizing something, you are following someone else's footsteps, not realizing that you have to follow your own footsteps to create what you desire in life. That fills you up inside, that fills up your passion, that fills up your love, your happiness, your peace of who you are as a person. And number 5 of what we do is simply leadership. On top of what I just stated right now, we are always following leaders. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course. Again, you can follow leaders, you can look up to people, that's fine. But we are constantly looking up to leaders to do what they do in the way they do. And it is understandable due to the fact of the system that we have created, that that person found a better way to use the system, so maybe I should use it the way they are doing it. That person maybe has better swagger, so maybe I should do what they're doing. That person can type like this, so maybe I should do it. Or that person can sing like this, so I should do it. Or that person can rap like that, so I should do it. So that person can dance, that person is president, and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter where you put it, we do follow other people in their footsteps to be similar to them or be alike to them. Now, let's get on to the other side, however. These are what we are being in today's society. But let's add on to what we are, in a sense, what we can be, what we truly were meant to be in any sense, but we don't choose to be at times because we are following what is going on in everyday life. We are going with what you call the matrix, the system, whatever you desire to call it. The first thing is freedom. We talked about wealth earlier, that many people have a mindset of a broke mentality, or that they don't have enough, that I could never be like that person. But what you truly have to do within self is to desire your freedom. What would you desire in life that you feel would make you free, and go for it. We see wealth as a difficult task because we don't have the money, we don't have enough time or whatnot. But one of my own experiences in life, and I tell this to people all the time, is I desire freedom. And the reason why I state I desire freedom is simply because freedom is truly everything. When you talk about wealth and stuff, yes, that is a part of it that allows you to do the things you desire to do. It is merely a tool when you talk about the money. But instead of looking, I don't have enough or anything, what sets your soul on fire? What do you desire to have in life to free yourself? Free yourself. Create what you desire. Don't worry about I don't have the money or that I'm trying like I'm too broke or any of those things. I'm not even worried about that. But what work towards what you desire to gain the freedom. And while you're working on the freedom, one way or another, you will gain that wealth as time progresses. But you have to be willing to urgently look at yourself and realize how important freedom is to you. If you desire to work a day-to-day 9 to 5 job, that is okay. Keep working it. There are people who desire that, and there's nothing wrong about that. But for those people who desire to free themselves and gain maybe a more opportunity, or maybe just have freedom to themselves to do whatever they want, whether it's just to relax, whether it's to watch your favorite shows, whether it's to travel, whether it's to just simply meditate in peace. No matter what it is, then go for that freedom, no matter what. Now, the second thing is sharing an experience. What do I mean by that? We had just talked about a minute ago that relationships have unconditional love with conditions, which is really conditional love. And that we are always looking to, if you have some of this, then I'll give you some of that. That we're always looking at things like a business contract. We're never looking at it in a sense of if that person really works with who we are and cares for who we are. You have to realize you are sharing an experience in this world. This is an experience right now. And when you are in a relationship with someone in an experience like that, create those moments. Create those loving moments, those kind moments. Yes, you will, of course, have times where you argue because that's a part of relationships. But see people for who they are, not for what they have. If they don't work for you, they don't work for you. Again, it's always understandable when you're around someone. If you are trying to grow wealth and you're around someone who doesn't care for those or mocks you, you might not want to be around that type of person. That is understandable. If you're around someone who treats you horribly in a sense, and you don't truly, you, when you start to feel alone in a relationship, that probably is not for you. But when you are with someone who truly cares about you, truly desires to see you succeed, and you desire to see them succeed, create the experience and share that moment with each other of being who you truly are. Because what we don't understand, we are constantly saying things that we are being unconditionally loving, but we are not being what is necessary to create that moment. Unconditional love is gentle, kind, meek, loving, caring. And this is not always the things we show in our heart of hearts. We are always looking for something more out of it. Realize you need nothing and create what you desire, because you have the power to do that. You have, actually, I'm sorry, not the power, you have the strength to create whatever you desire in life. Do not let someone who does not have whatever they do not have be the downfall of who you are. If it does not work or serve you to be in that relationship, then it does not work. But grow with that person and understand and observe if this serves you to be in this relationship. But number three is, instead of keeping up with the Kardashians, why don't you keep up with evolving yourself? We're always trying to find, again, the big trend, the big spin, trying to keep up with the big celebrities. But why don't you keep up with yourself of who you are? Those celebrities got to where they went because they were taking care of themselves. And as I would say, you should take care of yourself. Not to worry about what anybody else is saying, but to focus on yourself, your goals in life, your dreams, your desires in life, because you truly do matter. All of you matter in your own special way, no matter who you are. But you have to be willing to work towards what serves you and what does not serve you. And loving yourself unconditionally instead of judging yourself and being conditional with loving yourself. Care for who you are because you deserve that. So Drone said, "That's right, bro. Speak it. Love that. Keep up with ourselves." Exactly. Keep up with yourselves. And I like what you said right there. You keep up with yourself. Don't keep up with the Kardashians. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Keep up with yourself. The next thing is number 4, critical thinking. We are constantly memorizing things, like I said, and this is what I wanted to add, but I wanted to wait until I gave you the full picture of it. We're memorizing things where we copy everything that everyone is doing, but we often critically think. For example, I'll give you a good example. Someone was making me a sandwich one time, and I had already written down for them that I didn't want cheese because, of course, I'm vegan. Now, they had put cheese on it anyways, and had simply told me that the sandwich has cheese on it and next time don't order it that way. But it would easily be solvable if you just think for a sec that it already said, just observe. Now, this is just small in comparison. But what I mean by critically thinking is understanding your surroundings and observing everything. When you are critically thinking, you're not memorizing, you are feeling out what works and what doesn't work for you and what you create. There might be something you're memorizing right now, but maybe you have to do it in a whole completely different way to make it work. And maybe it works. Critically think things through instead of constantly trying, which is number 5, to follow leadership. Be your own leader. Where it is understandable when you have leaders, because what leadership is in its own sense is simply stating, I'm going first. And of course, many people might be scared of that, because it is terrifying at times for us as a species to go into the unknown, not knowing what to do and how to do it. It is terrifying, especially if you're creating something new, whether it's a system, robots, something more healthy for people, whether it's a new car, a new way of living. No matter what it is, it can be terrifying to us, but we are capable of creating. Be your own leader and understand self. That's why I constantly say, go within who you are. Go within self and understand who you are because of what you can create. You are within self. You're not trying to seek information outside of yourself, but realizing you have the information necessary to create what you desire. You know this, but you have to first off listen to your feelings. Understand yourself and love thyself. Love who you are. Take time to who you are. Take time to yourself and focus. And the more times you focus, the more you are working on yourself, you will realize that you know the answers, and it will surprise you how easily you know the answers to many things. Remember how beautiful, how magnificent, how divine you all are. And in conclusion, as of what we're doing as a species on this planet. We are thinking in a broke mindset about wealth. We are in relationships with conditional love. We keep trying to follow the Joneses in a sense, trying to follow the trends that are going on in everyday life. We memorize things in life, whether it's through school, college, whether it's just at work or whatnot, or whether it's just our day to day life. We memorize things. And that we follow leadership from other people to do what they do. But the truth be told, that who we truly are in any sense, but we have not gained all the time, and we're growing, of course, is we haven't looked to grow our freedom to be what we desire to be and what we say we desire to be. We are not in a sharing experience where we grow unconditional love instead of trying to create conditional love and experiencing that moment with that person we truly desire to be with. That where instead of keeping up with the Joneses, you keep evolving yourself, or as the guy drummer in worship had said, keeping up with yourself, keeping up with ourselves, working towards keeping up with who you are instead of everybody else. Make your own trends, make your own creations, make your own desires, create your own people of fans or whatever you desire, or your own love within self. Focus on that instead of focusing on what everybody else is doing. And that instead of memorizing everything, to critically think things through. Don't get me wrong again. It is okay to memorize things, because memorizing means once you know it, you can pick it apart and understand it more by creating something new from it. You can understand more that maybe there's a better solution from what you memorize. Whether you are creating an experience where you're doing a new business, whether you are creating an experience where you're learning something new, whether you're creating an experience in just your day to day life that can teach you something new to understand. Critically think things through and don't memorize, because life, honestly, is not a copycat book. It's your story. So you have to take the pen or pencil and write it down in your own creation. And last, be your own leader. You have the power. I'm sorry, keep saying that, but you have the strength to create whatever you desire and be the leader. It may be terrifying because it's unknown to go first into things, but choose to for yourself, because no one is going to love you more than you. So just realize you are the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within this world and the next, and that to know thyself is to know the creator within, who you are. And to everybody out there, have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. To everybody, peace and namaste.